then
And then
I'll get into the Uber.
To go to Winslow Township High School to watch a show.
And then
as
we get there, and Ted is saying thank you.
And Ted is saying thank you.
And then we can join the whole crowd.
That way we can join the
whole
crowd, including
all of the rest of your packed of
moms, babies, infants, children, kids, boys, girls, sisters, brothers, friends, dads, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, and families. Kids, Scrooges, senior citizens, African Americans, and all of the whole nations from all around the world. All of the cats, all of the dogs, all of the pets,
all of each others,
all of each others,
all of the food delivered,
all of the food delivered, all of the emergencies, all of the listeners, all of the others, all of the 90s, all of the 80s, all of the 70s, all of the 60s, all of the 50s, all of the 30s, and even all of the rolling 20s.
and even all of the players.
And even all of the players. All of the candy girls, all of the candy boys, all of the gaming bros, all of the gaming girls, all of the ladies, all of the gentlemen,
All of the male,
all of the male,
all of the
all of the females,
all of the mailmen,
all of the mailmen, all of the hairdressers, all of the Lowe's and the Home Depots, all of the BKs,
and his waiters,
all of the cast,
all of the gas stations,
all of the gas stations,
all gather around
the lawn
in Cooper
Folly Road
to watch us a big, very,
very huge show. The first one in
18 years.
18 years.
And then Nan tells you,
let's stand right here. I think this will be perfect, Madison.
and Maddie tells
you,
welcome to Cooper Folly.
Welcome to Cooper Folly.
And then, but the first pop of the fire.
But the first pop of the fireworks.
And everyone was cheering.
And everyone was cheering.
And starts getting wildly.
And starts getting wildly.
And second. The second round of the sparkling in the sky.
And the second round of the sparkling.
Sparkling in the sky. And the fourth sparkling in the sky. But she scares the baby.
And the first sparkling in the sky. And the fourth sparkling in the sky. And it scares the babies.
Especially the higher.
Whee! And the mommy tells the baby, "Oh no, little baby, it's okay. Don't be scared. Look up. It's just a sparkling show. Look at all the pretty colors." And the baby looks up and goes, "Ah, goo goo gaga."
And then the fifth round of the fire. And then the sixth round of the.
And then the sixth round of the
sparkling in the sky.
Sparkling in the sky.
It scares the children.
And it scares the children. Ah, Mom, I'm so scared. And the mom tells the little one, "Oh, little one, don't be scared. It's okay. Go on, look up. Look at all the beautiful colors of the sparkling show." And the kid goes, "Oh, wow, this is so cool."
And then Maddie tells you,
"Mom,
where are you?
Where are you?"
And then there's an enormous fun, and Maddie starts getting completely insanely.
Then there's an enormous sparkle in the sky, and Maddie starts getting
louder.
And Maddie starts getting crazy and wild, insanely wild. Then she's jumping up and down. Ah! And Daddy's telling her, "Queenie, calm down." But she cannot contain her excitement. Woo! Yay!
And then they get the Home Depot and puts on her stage.
And then we get the Home Depot and puts on the stage.
And then Mr. Massa.
And then Mr.
M said.
And then Mr. M said,
"Check 1, 2, 3.
Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?"
And the whole crowd starts to hear.
And the whole crowd says, "Yay! Hello, Mr. M."
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. And thank you all for coming. I love your uniform. And the crowd says,
"Yes, thank you."
"Yes, thank you."
Are you?
Are you ready, crowds and nations from all around the world, for the biggest, most ginormous, grandest, amazingest show in 18 years? And the crowd says,
"Yes, we are."
"Yes, we are. Bring it on."
And then we saw a boom and sparkling in the sky, so you can feel it in your chest.
And then we saw a boom and sparkling in the sky. And you can feel it in your
everyone
chest.
totally loses it.
And the whole everyone totally loses it.
And
Wow!
Maddie totally loses it.
Well, the Maddie totally loses it. And she's jumping up and down. Yay! Woo! She's recording.
And then the grandparents totally loses it.
And the grandparents totally loses it. And they throw their canes up in the air. And they throw their walkers up in the air. And they throw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they throw their walking sticks up in the air. And they throw their scarves up in the air. And they throw their bow ties up in the air. And they throw their ascots up in the air. And they throw their glasses up in the air. And they throw their suspenders up in the air. And they throw their wigs up in the air. And they throw their toupees up in the air. And they throw their pipes up in the air. And they throw their aprons up in the air. And they start to boogie down to the
Lucky lucky sound.
Lucky sound! Woo! Yay!
And the kids go wild.
And the kids go wild and totally loses it. And they're running all around the lawn saying, yay!
And they threw their caps up in the air.
And they threw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their braces up in the air.
And they throw their braces up in the air.
And they throw their belt bottoms up in the air.
And they throw their bell bottoms up in the air.
And they throw their necklace and bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their necklace and bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their... bows up in the air.
And they throw their bows up in the air. And they throw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their glasses up in the air.
And they throw their glasses up in the air.
And she's starting to.
And he started to boogie down to the lucky sound.
And the Home Depot totally loses it.
And the Home Depot totally loses it. And they throw their aprons up in the air. And they throw their measuring tapes up in the air. And they throw their levels up in the air. And they throw their orange buckets up in the air. And they throw their screwdrivers up in the air. And they throw their drills up in the air. And they throw their hammers up in the air. And they throw their nails up in the air. Then the nail falls down and it pokes the baby. And the baby, wee! And the mom says, oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. The nail is gone. Oh, gone.
And she throws their... And they throw their wooden up in the air.
And they throw their wood up in the air.
And they throw their hard hats up in the air.
And they throw their hard hats up in the air.
And she's starting to.
And she started to boogie down to the lucky sound.
And the Lowe's totally loses it.
And the Lowe's totally loses it. And they throw their aprons up in the air. And they throw their blue buckets up in the air. And they throw their hammers up in the air. And they throw their drills up in the air.
And they throw the wooden.
And they throw their woods up in the air. And they throw their levels up in the air.
And they throw their hard hats up in the air.
And they throw their hard hats up in the air.
And they throw in the Home Depot and Lowe's. Oh my goodness, he throws their inflatable up in the air.
And the Home Depots and Lowe's, oh my goodness, they throw all the inflatables up in the air. Yay! Woo! Woo!
And the Candy Girls and Candy Boys totally loses it.
And the Candy Girls and Candy Boys totally loses it. And they throw their candy canes up in the air.
Including
Lollipop,
Lemonhead,
Lemonhead, Gumdrops,
Roll-Up,
Roll-Ups, Rolos,
Hershey's,
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Hershey's Cookies and Creams,
Oreos,
Klondike Bars,
and candy bars. Yummy candies.
And the crowd loses it. Yay! Free candy! I love the candy!
Starburst.
And they throw their Starburst up in the air. And they throw their Skittles up in the air. And they throw the M&Ms up in the air. And they throw their Now and Laters up in the air. And they throw the Gushers up in the air.
Yay!
Yay! Woo!
And the BK totally loses it.
And the BK totally loses it. And they throw the burgers up in the air. And they throw the buns up in the air. And they throw the French fries up in the air. And they throw the chicken nuggets up in the air. And they throw the milkshakes up in the air. And the crowd goes crazy. Yay! Free food, burgers, fries, buns, milkshakes,
Sodas up in the air.
sodas, and chicken nuggets.
And they throw their sodas up in the air.
And they throw their sodas up in the air. Free soda.
And the emergency buddy totally loses it.
And the emergency buddies totally loses it. And they throw their gloves up in the air.
And they threw their guts up in the air.
And they threw their guns up in the air.
And they throw their hats up in the air.
And they throw their hats up in the air. And they throw their badges up in the air. And they throw their batons up in the air. And they throw their flashlights up in the air. And they throw their tasers up in the air. Zzz, ah, ee, ah. And they throw their pepper spray up in the air. Shh. Ow, my eyes, my eyes. And the fireman loses it. And they throw their hose up in the air. And the water goes everywhere. And everybody's saying, yay, no more burn from pepper spray. But now I'm all wet. Yay, it's a water party. And the firemen throw their hard hats up in the air. And the fireman throws their axes up in the air. And they throw their oxygen machines up in the air.
And they throw their medical equipment up in the air.
And they throw their medical equipment up in the air.
And they throw their blood pressure up in the air.
And they throw their blood pressure machines up in the air.
And they throw their tea tree oil up in the air.
And they throw their tea tree oil up in the air.
And they throw their medicine up in the air.
And they throw their medicine up in the air. People say, oh, yucky, gross medicine.
And they throw their pills up in the air.
And they throw their pills up in the air.
And they throw their drugs up in the air.
And they throw their drugs up in the air. And they throw their band-aids up in the air. Yay! Free band-aids!
And the heart beater and they throw their heart beater up in the air.
And they throw their heart beater up in the air. Woo!
And then the baby totally loses it.
And then the babies totally loses it. And they throw their rattles up in the air. And they throw their binkies up in the air. And they throw their bottles up in the air. And they throw their bibs up in the air. And they throw their blankies up in the air. And they throw their fresh diapers up in the air. Woo! Goo goo gaga! And the crowd said, oh no, diapers! Gross!
And she throws her baby foods up in the air.
And they throw their baby foods up in the air.
And then everyone says,
oh, girls, I have baby food all over me. It's so sticky.
And they throw their... And they throw their both feet tucked in up in the air.
And they throw their both feet tucked in up in the air. Woo!
And the emergency throws her shots up in the air.
And the emergency throws their shots up in the air. But it's a baby. And the mommy tells the baby, oh no, it's okay, I'll take this out and put a Band-Aid on. No better now. And the baby goes, ooh, goo, gaga.
And the gaming boys and girls totally loses it.
And the gaming boys and gals totally loses it. And they throw their controllers up in the air. And they throw their laptops up in the air. And they throw their joysticks up in the air. And they throw their Ataris up in the air. And they throw their...
And oh my goodness, he throws their arcades up in the air.
And oh my goodness, he throws the arcade up in the air and a pinball machine.
And totally loses it.
And the hairdresser totally loses it. And she throws her apron up in the air. And she throws her scissors up in the air. And she throws her hairspray up in the air. And she throws her moves up in the air. And she throws the blower up in the air. And she throws the clippers up in the air. And she throws the hair shavers up in the air. And she throws that hair dye up in the air. Woo! And she totally loses it. And she's going wild and boogieing down to that lucky sound. Yay! Woo! I love this holiday!
And then the Mr. M said...
And then the Mr. M said, "Whoa! What a show!"
I mean, Mac.
And the Mr. Mac tells you, "Whoa! What a show! What did you think of this, ladies and gentlemen and national people from all around the world?"
Yeah, let me hear you shout.
Let me hear you shout, everyone!
Yeah.
Woo! Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and
Ladies
girls,
and gentlemen.
attention please.
Boys and girls, attention please.
It's time for Get Ready to Catch the Mr. Mac.
It is time to get ready to catch the Mr. Mac. That's me. Woo!
And the whole crowd starts to run, and
the whole crowd starts to run towards the mayor.
And as the mayor starts to fall down.
And the mayor starts to fall down.
And there she is! Mr.
And
Mac
there
flips
she
off the
is!
stage.
And Mr. Mac flips off the stage! And the crowd catches him! And Mr. Mac totally loses it! Yeah! And the crowd goes wild! Woo! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac!
Mr. Mac!
Mr. Mac! Woo!
And everyone starts to dance with the movements.
And everyone starts to dance with the movements of Mr. Mac. Woo!
With your crazy holiday.
With your crazy holiday dance. Woo!
And the babies. And everyone caught the mayor.
And then
the kids
caught the mayor. And the kids caught the mayor. And they're all going wild and crazy. Yay! And the mayor, Mr. Mac, is laying in a sea of people while they're carrying him everywhere. Yay! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Woo!
And then
the
BK caught the mayor.
And then the BK caught the mayor. Woo! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Woo!
They bad. They bad.
They bad. Woo!
Whoa, types of music caught the mayor and totally loses it.
Whoa, types of music caught the mayor and totally loses it. Yay! We got the Mr. Mac! We got the Mr. Mac! Woo! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Yay!
And they throws her.
And they throw their...
And they throws their papers up in the air.
And they throw their papers up in the air.
and throw his microphone up in the air.
And throw his microphone up in the air. Woo!
And she throws her
her
sacks up in the air.
Her sacks up in the air. Woo! Yay! Woo-hoo-hoo! What a spectacular time!
And the librarian is caught the mayor.
And the librarians caught the mayor. Woo! We got the Mr. Mac mayor. Woo! Yay!
And the librarian throws her.
And the librarian throws her books up in the air. And the librarian throws her glasses up in the air. And the librarian throws her work badge up in the air. And the librarian throws her notepad up in the air. And the librarian throws her pencils up in the air. And they start to boogie down with the Mr. Mac. Yay! Woo!
And the sequel to Spanish Worldwide Nation caught the mayor.
And the sequel to Spanish
totally
Worldwide Nation caught the
Yeah.
Caught the Mr. Mac. And they totally loses it. Yay! We got him! Woo! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Mr. Mac! Woo!
And your and your canny boys and canny girls throws her, including.
And the canny boys and canny girls throws there, including lollipops, candy canes,
Kit
Kat bars, candy corn, Reese's peanut butter cups,
roll-ups, Three Musketeers,
3 Musketeers,
Dots,
they're dots, they're
Almond
whoopers,
Joy,
they're almond joys,
and they throw their Milky Way.
Ooh, and they throw their Milky Ways up in the air.
They throw their Hershey's up in the air.
And they throw their Hershey's up in the air. And they throw their Snicker bars up in the air.
And everyone said,
Woo!
Free Snicker bars!
Free Snicker bars! Yum!
And the sodas caught the mayor.
And the sodas caught the mayor. And they sprayed their ginger ales up in the air. And they sprayed their Coca-Colas up in the air. And they sprayed their Sierra Mist up in the air. And they sprayed their Sprite up in the air. And they sprayed their Tab up in the air. Woo! It's the soda sprinklers!
And the Spaniards
and
the Mexicans
and the
totally
Mexicans
loses
all
it.
totally
And then we
loses
caught
it.
the mayor.
And then they caught the mayor. Woo!
And starting to do salsa.
And they start to do salsa dancing with the mayor. Woo!
And they throw their hats.
And they throw their hats up in the air.
And they throw their mustache up in the air.
And they throw their mustache up in the air.
And she's starting to.
And she started to. And they throw their maracas up in the air.
And they started to.
And they start to boogie down to the lucky sound.
The boom, sparkling pop.
And the boom, sparkling pop.
Has been. And the beer dresser caught the mayor and totally loses it.
And the hairdresser caught the mayor, and he totally loses it. Woo! Yay!
And they throw their
And they throw their
shaving cream.
And they throw their shaving cream up in the air. And they throw their razors up in the air. And they throw their hair shavers up in the air. Bzzz. And they throw their clippers up in the air.
And the dentist caught the mayor and totally loses it and starts getting wild.
And the dentist caught the mayor and totally loses it and starts going wild. Woo! And he throws some toothpaste up in the air. And he throws some toothbrush up in the air. And he throws some bubblegum chewables up in the air. Woo!
And they throw their braces up in the air.
And they throw their braces up in the air. And they throw their dental floss up in the air.
And oh my goodness!
And oh my goodness!
He throws a
a
dental light up in the air.
dental light up in the air. Woo! And he throws a laughing gas up in the air. And the crowd goes, this is so much fun. Can't stop laughing.
And the craziest fun would stop.
And the craziest
Sparkling in
fireworks-
the sky.
And the craziest sparkling in the sky stops. And the crowd takes the mayor back to the stage.
And the whole crowd starts to cheer wildly clap.
And the whole crowd starts to cheer wildly and clapping. Woo! Yay! Woo-hoo!
And her mayor brings her back onto stage.
And they bring
And
Mr.
he flips
Mac
off
up
flips on the stage.
back to the stage. And he flips from the crowd.
And
back
turns
up to
down the stage.
And-
And turn up the stage.
And turns up the stage.
And said,
And says,
wow, that was a
Wow.
crazy holiday.
that was a crazy holiday. Thank you all for catching me. Thank you all for joining me and partying with me in this crazy, crazy, wild holiday.
Thank you for partying with your fun.
Thank you for partying with your fun and losing and going completely
sound.
wild and dancing to the crazy, funky sound. Woo! Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yay! Woo! Glad to hear it.
Let me hear you shout.
Let me hear you shout. Woo! Yay! Woo!
I will hope to see you.
I hope to see you all again next year. Will I? And the crowd says,
Yes,
yay!
we are.
Yes, you will.
I will see you on the
I will see you on the 2024
and Voorhees.
at
Voorhees.
Voorhees. Woo!
And the Home Depot catches the mayor and bring her back to his store.
And the Home Depot catches
All of us.
Mr. Mac and brings him back to his store.
And Maddie tells you,
And
look
Maddie
at all
tells you-
the people.
Look at all these people.
And then all of us gets in back to the vehicle.
And then all of us get back to the vehicle.
There was so much traffic.
And there was so much traffic. And then Maddie tells you, where is there so much traffic?
And then tells you,
It's because everybody's trying to go home at the same time.
and then she waits for your mom.
And then she waits for your mom.
And Maddie tells you,
And
what's
Matt
your
tells you,
name?
What is your name? It's Anthony. It's,
Oh!
oh! It's Mark.
There's this final sparkling in the sky.
And there's this finally sparkling in the sky.
And we are trying to... There clear so much traffic.
And they cleared so much traffic.
They clear the traffic.
And they
Because
finally cleared the traffic.
Cause
everybody
tries to leave at the same time.
was trying to leave at the same time.
To go
home.
And then when John says,
we're home.
Did you
have fun, Madison?
Yeah.
Good. And then Mom and Nan tells you, thank you for going wild and crazy, Maddie.
Thanks for getting wild and crazy, Holly.
Thank you for getting wild and crazy in the holiday.
And getting so happy. With those excitement.
With this excitement.
And saying
happy.
No. And saying the 1st
of July.
Woo!
Woo!
And then as we get there,